Let's start the first section of our lecture, acute and chronic tonsillitis. And in this section, we will discuss the palatine tonsils. What's the blood supply of palatine tonsils, the venous and lymphatic drainage of palatine tonsil, and also the functions of the tonsils, what are the important functions carried out by the tonsils. So the palatine or the faucial tonsils, they are also known as the faucial tonsils, palatine tonsil. Here if you see in this diagram, that's the palatine tonsils. Just on the back, when the patient opens the mouth with the tongue depressed, you can see the palatine tonsils, especially when they are inflamed or infected and they are enlarged. It's very easy to see the palatine tonsils through the mouth which is opened and then examined. So these are the palatine tonsils on the back in the oropharynx. Then this is hanging structure is the uvula. Uvula can be easily seen in the open mouth also. So this is the uvula. Then we have the palatoglossal arch. This structure is the palatoglossal arch between the tongue, which is the glossal, and then the palate here. This is the palatoglossal arch. And then here on top is the palatopharyngeal arch between the palate and the pharynx. So tonsils are in between the palatopharyngeal, and then we have palatoglossal arch on the back. So this is the exact location of the palatine tonsils. What are the palatine tonsils? The tonsils are actually the mass of lymphoid tissue. And lymphoid tissue, we know the main function of the lymphoid tissue is in the immunity, in the protection against different microorganisms. They trap the organism and kill and phagocytize them. So this is the ovoid mass of lymphoid tissue situated in the lateral wall of oropharynx between the anterior and posterior pillars. So these are the palatine tonsils, which is a mass of the lymphoid tissue situated in the lateral wall of the oropharynx. So the lateral wall of the oropharynx, these palatine tonsils are situated. The applied anatomy, they have two surfaces. The tonsils have the medial surface and the lateral surface. Remember, the medial surface or medial part is the part that is close to the midline. Lateral is away from the midline. So roughly if we see this palatine tonsil here, the part towards the midline is this part that is considered like a medial surface, and the lateral surface is away from the midline. So medial surface and lateral surface, two surfaces are present of the palatine tonsil, medial surface and the lateral surface. And then other features of the applied anatomy of the palatine tonsils, they have crypta magna or intratonsillar cleft. So the tonsils, they have intratonsillar. Inside the tonsil, they have a cleft, intratonsillar cleft. Then there is also supratonsillar fossa. Supratonsillar, up on the upper part of the tonsil, there is a tonsillar fossa. Then there is semilunar fold, triangular fold, and the tonsillolingual sulcus. All these are the structures of which are included in the anatomy of the tonsil. The tonsils have medial surface, lateral surface, they have the crypta magna or intratonsillar cleft, then also supratonsillar fossa, semilunar fold, triangular fold, and the tonsillolingual sulcus. The blood supply of the tonsils is tonsillar branch of facial artery, then the ascending pharyngeal artery from external carotid, ascending palatine branch of facial artery, dorsal lingual branch of lingual artery, and descending palatine branch of maxillary artery. So the main blood supply of the tonsils is from the facial artery, maxillary artery, external carotid, and the lingual artery. So these are the four branches, major branches that gives, or major arteries that give branches to the tonsil and gives the blood supply to the tonsil. So we have the facial artery, lingual artery, external carotid, and the maxillary artery. So these are the four major arteries that gives branches that supply blood to the tonsil. Here if we see these major arteries, we have the external carotid artery here. This is external carotid. Then we have lingual artery, facial artery, and then the maxillary artery here. So this is maxillary artery, external carotid, facial, and lingual artery. These are the four major arteries that supply the blood to the tonsils through the branches. External carotid artery gives the branch here, which is the ascending pharyngeal artery. So ascending pharyngeal artery, this is the ascending pharyngeal artery here, ascending pharyngeal artery. This is from the external carotid. Maxillary artery gives descending palatine artery here. And then the facial artery is giving the ascending palatine artery. And we also have the facial artery. This is the ascending palatine, and the lingual artery is giving the tonsillar branch, dorsal lingual artery. So these are all the branches that gives the blood supply to the tonsil. So the main branches or the main arteries, remember, that gives the branches to supply the tonsil, we have maxillary artery, facial artery, external carotid, and the lingual artery. And facial artery gives two branches to the tonsils, and the other three give one branch that supply the blood to the tonsil or palatine tonsil. Next, the venous and lymphatic drainage of the tonsil. The venous drainage goes to the paratonsillar vein, which joins the facial vein and pharyngeal venous plexus. So the venous drainage is to the paratonsillar vein and drain into and joins the facial vein and pharyngeal venous plexus. And the lymphatic drainage, after piercing the superior constrictor muscle, it drain into upper deep cervical nodes, jugulodigastric nodes. The nerve supply to the tonsil is by the sphenopalatine ganglion, which is the cranial nerve 5, and glossopharyngeal nerve supply. So these are the nerve supply through the sphenopalatine ganglion from cranial nerve 5, and then the glossopharyngeal nerve, and then the lymphatic drainage after piercing the superior constrictor goes to the upper cervical lymph nodes and also jugulo-digastric nodes. So this was the blood supply. Blood supply of the tonsil, palatine tonsil we are talking specifically right now, is through the 4 major arteries: maxillary artery, facial artery, lingual artery, and external carotid artery. And the venous drainage goes to the paratonsillar vein that again joins the facial vein and pharyngeal venous plexus. The lymphatic drainage is to the upper deep cervical lymph nodes and then jugulo-digastric nodes, and the nerve supply is through the 5th cranial nerve and the glossopharyngeal nerve, which is also the cranial nerve. Now, the functions of this tonsil, as I mentioned, tonsils are the lymphoid tissue, lymphoid organs. So the functions is the immunity plays very important role in local immunity, and how it does that. The lining of the tonsils is by the squamous epithelium, and then there is increase in the surface area of the tonsil by the lining because of the presence of the intratonsillar clefts or crypts. There is increase in the surface area, and that helps in the trapping of the microorganism. M cells, antigen processing cells, and micropores are present in the tonsils. So the immunity that is provided by these tonsils is with the help of the M cells, antigen processing cells. The antigen antibody reaction plays an important role in initiating the immune response or allergic response. So these cells are present in the tonsils that recognize the antigen and helps processing the immune response. Then we have the lymphoid follicles present in the tonsils, which are rich in the B cells. Both B cells, M cells, which are macrophages, B and T lymphocytes, all these cells are very important cells that play an important role in the immunity or immune system. So lymphoid follicles, which are B cell rich. Bacteria are phagocytosed in these lymphoid follicles with the B cells. Low dose antigens and chronic infections, they are also play an important role in the infections and when there is exposure to low dose antigens. Then the other function is due to surveillance mechanism. Surveillance is due to close observation done by the tonsils, which identify intruders and alerts the body. Whenever the foreign body enters, they become alert and they alert the body that there is invasion of the body by the foreign body. There is B cell proliferation occurs, dendritic cell, macrophages, T helper and T suppressor cells also proliferated, and there is increase in ratio of T to B cells after puberty. So after the puberty, T lymphocytes are more as compared to B lymphocytes. So that's how the tonsils perform their function. Once the foreign body or a foreign object or microorganism enter, they alert the body that there is intrusion of the body by the foreign object or microorganism. It causes proliferation of B cells and then proliferation of up the T helper suppressor cells, and then this causes an immune response against that foreign particle, and that helps the body to fight against that microorganism or foreign particle, so to prevent any infection or complication. So that's how these tonsils perform their function. They are lymphoid organ present in the oropharynx, on the lateral side of the oropharynx, and then perform the function of protection against the foreign objects. So this was all about section 1, in which we talked about the palatine tonsils, their location, blood supply, venous drainage, lymphatic drainage, nerve supply, and also the functions of the tonsils. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.